pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, so you want to take roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Bowman?
Here.
Mr. Myers? Commissioner Patterson?
Here.
Commissioner Benner?
Here.
Commissioner Roush?
Here.
Madam Chairperson, we have a quorum.
Okay. Next on the agenda is approval for this evening's or this afternoon's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is approval of minutes from August 20th.
I wasn't here, but I'll make a motion to approve.
It all looks good. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
All who say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next is introduction of evidence.
Ladies, I have the city ordinances here, the Heritage Commission guidelines, and each of you have staff reports that are available. There are also pictures of both properties available on the center of the table.
Okay. Does anyone like to make a motion, please? All motion? Okay.
I'll second it.
All who say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. Do we have any old business?
We do not.
Okay. The new business for this evening is to receive a certificate of appropriateness to renovate the existing single-story L on the rear of the house, construct an addition to the L, and replace the roof on the entire structure at 53 Washington Street. Is there anyone here that would like to talk about that?
Denise, absolutely. Step on up.
Sure,
It's your turn.
absolutely, I would love to. I purchased this home and knew that there was quite a bit of work that needed to be done. Pretty much the whole back of the house was falling off and getting rain damage, and one of the additions on the building on the back, or an addition on the back, sorry, it was a room, was fallen in and needed to be taken off because it was doing nothing again but collecting rain, water, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I would like to replace that area that needed to be demolished off, and of course the whole back wall, which was just falling to the ground. Brick in the wall, so lots of load bearing and, you know, weight on that back end. And it needs a new roof in order to not sustain any further damage. There is more work that I plan to be doing at the house, but at this moment, in order just to encase it, this is all that I'm seeking approval for.
And the siding you're going to apply is...
Oh, yes. Yes, same type of siding. It's a clapboard wood siding, and so on that addition and replacement of the house that was torn off will be the similar existing wood siding.
And what type of roof?
A metal roof,
Standing seam or?
non-standing seam.
Okay.
She provided us some information on the roof. I believe it's in the back of the package.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And she's going with you have the color there, it's galvanized, it's the second to last page.
I am glad to see somebody come in and rescue this house. I think it's great.
Okay.
I make a motion that we accept what she's put forward.
For the siding and the roof. Okay, is that all we need to cover?
She's adding an addition to the back.
And the addition.
Siding, roof, and addition.
Okay. Is there a second for that?
I'll second it.
All who say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries.
You're good.
Thank you.
Thank
Please, I
you.
have, if you want to get going, I have the information for you. If you want to wait, that's fine too.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Next, we have SGHC 034-18, a certificate of appropriateness to replace cement asbestos siding on the northern wall with woodlap siding, enclose 2 existing windows on that wall, and an exterior door on the northwest rear corner of the first floor
I do
at
have-
188 North Main.
I apologize for interrupting. I do have one change that it is engineered lap siding. And I think Mr. Luttrell is here.
Yes. My name is Guy E. Luttrell. I live at 399 North Main, Washington Street here in town, in city limits. I've got all the licenses it takes to do this type of work. I was working on an adjacent building for Dr. O'Donnell, and she asked me to walk over and look at this window that was in bad condition. So I walked over and I looked at it. I noticed the window had rotted from water damage. Went outside, looked up on the roof, and I think you got the pictures. Did you get the pictures? Okay. Well, I walked outside and I looked up on the roof, and the sill plate where the trusses sit on had collapsed, and the gutter was running water down through the wall. So I really, I couldn't give a bid. I really didn't know what we had, but what I had to do is look at what was damaged. So without an appropriateness or anything, I tore the asbestos siding off, and I took the lap siding off. Somebody had been in there before and tried to scap this wall up, and it shifted down probably 6 inches. And they just tacked studs on it and left it there and sheetrocked the inside. So I wasn't capable of going inside, tear all the sheetrock off, and jack it back up. So I informed the owners that we'd probably have to tear that section of the roof off to get those trusses up. Well, once I got up in the attic, I could tell everything was fine. It was just the termites and rain had rotted it, and somebody remodeled it and didn't push everything back up. So once I found out what I needed to do in that, I needed to tear the concrete asbestos siding off, take the lap siding off, restud the wall, support it. I didn't lift it up because the sheetrock and all that would have lifted. It was already nailed and I had to go up. But I lifted the sheeting of the roof up in that and fixed the gutter, so it's draining now. And that's why I'm asking for appropriateness to replace the siding. It rotted the corner out, so we're rolling around to the west side of the building. Okay, so I did 16 feet, and then I'm not sure how far I gotta go yet around the corner. And in that corner, it used to be an apartment, it says in the historical value of the buildings. They didn't have an egress, they had one door. And to keep it an apartment, we needed an egress door. And I noticed that they put a door in the other apartment, a 9-panel light door, so I duplicated that door and put it in the back. Now this door is in the back, it's off the streetscape, and it allows it to continue to be an apartment. Okay. Nothing can be seen. Now I covered up 2 windows. This building has come for landmarks before, and some sloppy work has been done to this building. I don't know if you've looked at it, but it's literally racked. And I know in landmarks, they just want you, if you get permission, they just want you to leave the window frame in there and let it show. Well, I documented it and the frame is still in there. But to stop the rot catching all these cracks from the sill, I just went over it. You know what I mean? I sent him pictures, but I guess they got here too late. But I just went over it. It's documented inside and with the pictures that they have at City Hall here, that the 2 windows were there. The windows were put in, I'd say, probably, they're Built Best windows. So I don't know how long Built Best has been in here, but they weren't old windows. There's probably 7 other windows on the building that have been covered up. I'll say 6 for sure, that they just put lap siding in the window piece. And all the water's got into all those cracks, and it's rotted it out. So I covered the windows.
Mr. Luttrell did send a drawing, I believe it's a view of the building from the northwest corner.
Yeah.
You all have that in your packet.
Yeah, I kind of, oh, and he has pictures of there, so he can, you can see that the door matches the other door. I don't know why the codes in that, before they could turn it into an apartment, didn't make them put another door in that apartment, but it didn't happen to keep everything. In the very back, you should have this picture, and it kind of explains what I wanted to do, what I needed to do,
And what you won't do?
and well, nothing that I won't do without your permission. No, but just what needed to be done.
It does.
What needed to be done to get the building standing. Termites are wonderful engineers. They ate every stud except the one that was holding the thing up. So I apologize. I know I was wrong about starting this work without permission, but I wouldn't have known what to tell you. I thought the whole wall would have to be replaced. I told the doctor, I says, I had no idea. The wall would literally move when I pushed on it from inside. So we went through the other way. It's a cement. I see no historical value of this building other than it was built in 1870, I think. It's been, the front of it has been totally defaced. It's a shame. I mean, it's a commercial building. We have commercial buildings, But at the time, I heard in front of Landmarks, they said to build this balcony made it more easy to get renters. Yeah, I don't know how it went over, but the building has been changed drastically. I'd say the only thing, the only thing the same is the chimneys going through it. I've got I didn't use a lap siding. It's just not. This is a trim wood. This is the wood. It's warranted for 5 to 50 years. It all depends how much warranty you want to pay. You pay another $8, but it's a stranded wood. It comes primed. Old cedar will get this look if you're familiar with old cedar. So it's not a slick siding. They went the extra $1 and got the textured. This is between 2 buildings. It's hard to see. It's not streetscape. When you do see it, I gotta say it looks original. It looks good. I apologize for the pictures.
He is correct. I mean, it's been changed a lot even when I was coming here before I lived here. I think what he's proposing is going to save it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the most important thing right now, saving it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just keeps, and it falls over.
Yeah, it was for these people to buy this building, save it. No, I'll tell you that now. I mean, to invest the money to keep it up. Dr. O'Donnell took on a big thing. I wouldn't even give her a bid. I says, get somebody else. I don't know what we're going to run into. And she said, just do what you can. Do it like you owned it, Ed. So I did. And I'm familiar with the guidelines here, but I had to see what I had to do. I mean, I thought the floor joists would be bad. I thought the gutter system, but we saved the gutter. We saved most of the asbestos siding. We didn't take it all the way down. We just did the back corner.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Okay, is there a second?
I second the motion.
All who say aye?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Ed.
Okay, you want me to talk about, the fence was already approved? Okay.
Fence was approved.
Phew. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Are you no longer in the plumbing business?
Pardon?
Are you no longer in the plumbing business?
Well, I tell you, I got involved with the inn and this, and
Who do I get now?
Who do you get? I'm still the plumber.
Okay.
I just found out I had to pay a lot more money to the city to do the other things.
That's good to know.
No, I'm still there. I'm more of a plumber than you don't worry. I fixed all your problems.
Okay, so now we're moving on to administrative approvals.
Yes, we've had 3 in the past few weeks. A certificate of appropriateness to place an informational sign at 150 South Main. It's basically just an identification sign at the building that the Presbyterian Church is working on. That's SGHC 31. SGHC 32, to receive a certificate to replace a fence with one of the same height and placement and in-kind along the northern side of 188 North Main. Ed is also installing that fence. And then SGHC 33, a certificate of appropriateness to replace a balcony with in-kind materials and similar appearance at the rear of 380 Market. As you exit today, you'll be able to see that work happening directly across the street on the rear of the Union Hall. So the balcony that was there was deteriorating, was collapsing, and the new one will look similar, except that it'll be supported by 6x6 posts in the ground, so it shouldn't go anywhere. And those were all approved. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other business? Public comments?
I'd just like to say thanks for showing up. This really helped. I know you didn't have to. and
No problem. Thanks for coming at the weird time.
No, I needed to. Just thank you.
Okay. Well,
I make a motion that we adjourn.
okay.
And I
Thank you.
Second it.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.